Hey everyone, welcome. It's Aurora with Create You. And today is the first day of October, so we are starting a whole new series of Free Yoga Friday classes. For those of you who joined me for the September Yoga Challenge, congratulations, you all did amazing. I'm going to be announcing the giveaway for that challenge, which was an enrollment in my new course coming out in mid-October, which is all about core strength for women. So I'm going to be announcing that on Sunday, which is super exciting. Also, this last week, I had the opportunity of working with many of you on hip mobility and hip opening in the hip workshop that I offered. If you were not able to attend that workshop last Sunday, I am transferring it to my online classroom, and you will be able to enroll and access the replay of that workshop soon, so stay tuned for that. All right, today we're going to do some awesome work on our glute area and build up those muscles. We're going to stretch out, relax, and you're going to feel amazing at the end. So let's get started. It's always a great idea to have maybe some blocks or a pillow nearby. A strap or a towel is helpful as well. And just come to a comfortable seated position. Roll your shoulders back. Lower or close the eyes. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And exhale. And just keeping the eyes lowered or closed, check in with yourself. Notice how you're showing up today. How the experiences of the past week, month, the experiences of your life are showing up in your body, in your breath. And just notice. Don't pass any judgments. Try to let go of your expectations. And just be still. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And exhale strongly out the mouth. And let's do this again. This time we're going to involve the shoulders. Inhale deeply through your nose. Lift the shoulders up to your ears as you inhale, fill up. And then exhale, let everything go. Let the shoulders drop. One more time. Inhale, fill up, lift the shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, let it all go. Flutter your eyes open. And on your next inhale, take a gentle twist to the left. Lifting the chest, keeping a nice straight spine here. Exhale back to center. And inhale, twist to the right. And exhale back to center. And just take some seated cat-cows here. Inhaling, lifting the chin, rolling the shoulders back and down, creating a slight arch here in the back. And then exhaling, tucking the chin, pulling the belly button and core in and rounding the spine. Inhale, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine. One more breath this way. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the chin and round the back. And then gently walk forward into tabletop position. And from tabletop, check your posture, making sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. And from here, we're going to check our root lock, which is the core and pelvic floor lock. And so to make sure your core is engaged, imagine pulling up on your belly button, pulling your belly button towards your spine. And at the same time, engage your pelvic floor, imagining that you're pulling up through the spine, traveling up towards the belly button as if those two areas are going to meet. And we want to try to keep our root lock throughout the practice. And it's almost impossible, but we'll just keep coming back to that and keep reminding ourselves to re-engage this area. From here, we're going to inhale, lift the sit bones, look up slightly for cow, and then exhale, tuck and round the back for cat. Engage that root lock. Inhale, look up. Exhale, tuck and round. One more time. Inhale, look up, fill up, and exhale, tuck and round. Come to pause. And if you need extra padding on your knees, we're going to be here for just a moment. You can roll your mat up to put under your knees. From here, we're going to spread our fingertips wide, and we're going to extend our right leg behind us with our right toes on the mat. Make sure that your hips are in line, so you don't want to open the hips. Keep them nice and even. Engage your root lock. And then we're going to bring our, we're going to take an inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to bring our right knee to our right elbow. And then release. Inhale, exhale, right knee to right elbow. Keep that root lock the entire time. And release. Right knee to right elbow. And release. Firing up the core a little bit. Drop that right leg down. Let's move to the left side, left foot back. Engage the root lock, make sure the hips are in line. Bring the left knee to the left elbow and take it back. Left knee to the left elbow, keep the root lock and back. Left knee to left elbow and back. Now you can keep working on this, but we're going to take it a little bit further. And this time when we extend our right foot back, we're actually going to float the right leg. So again, you can keep the toes down, and that's perfectly fine. You're going to get just as much benefit. You're not going to get benefit from pushing yourself too hard here, right? So you determine the challenge that you want to take. Reach your right leg up, keep the hips in line, keep the root lock going, and then bring the right knee to the right elbow and extend it back. When we come back, we're going to lift that leg just slightly so we feel it. Yep, you feel it right in the glute. Good. And then we're going to bring it forward to the right elbow. Keep the root lock and back. Little lift. Forward to the elbow and back. Release down. Other side. Left leg back. Maybe float the left leg. And then we're going to bring the left knee into the elbow and back. Lift just an inch. Really engage that glute. Keep the hips in line. Awesome. Bring it in and back. Lift up. That slow burn that gets you. Bring it in and back. Lift. And let's do this just one more time. In and lift. Release down. Bring your toes to touch, knees the width of the mat, and take child's pose just for a minute. Get off the wrists. And rise back up to tabletop. And we're just going to flip our right hand so that the top of our hand is on the mat. Just kind of stretch that wrist out a little bit. We're not going to be here too much longer, but might need a little break. And other hand. Good. This time, we're going to extend the right leg out and the left arm forward, if it works for you. Remember, this is always available. So we're going to reach out, and then we're going to bring our elbow and knee to touch, and then extend again. But this time, we're going to open into an awkward airplane, bringing our right leg out to one side, left leg out to the other, and then back to center. Elbow and knee to touch, extend, awkward airplane, back to center. Really, really getting into the core here. One last time. Elbow and knee to touch, awkward airplane, and back to center. Release down. Woo! Let's do that on the other side. Right arm forward, left leg back, elbow and knee to touch, extend, awkward airplane, back to center. Elbow and knee to touch, extend, awkward airplane, and back to center. One more time. Elbow and knee, extend, awkward airplane, back to center, and release. All right. We're gonna just tuck our toes, walk our hands back, get off of our wrists, roll the wrists in one direction and the other. Meanwhile, we're getting a really nice stretch here for all you walkers, runners, and hikers in our feet. And bring your hands out in front of you. Gently pull your fingers one side back. Flip the palm. Gently pull your fingers the other way. And then switch hands. Gently stretch out those wrists. Whew. And release. Walk your hands forward, tuck your toes, lift your hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Walk it out here. This is our first downward facing dog of the day, maybe some of the first movement we're doing of the day. So just pedal your feet, feel what you're feeling in your hips, your shoulders, up your legs. Just notice here what kind of sensations you're getting. Take a deep inhale and exhale. I like to keep a bend in my knees in my down dog so I'm not overstretching the hamstrings. And on your next inhale, walk your feet to your hands. Slowly roll halfway up and grab for your elbows for ragdoll. Another micro bend in the knees, release the neck. You can rock side to side here. That feels good. And slowly roll all the way up. Let's do some sun salutations. Inhale, arms to the sky, reach up, open the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, bring your fingertips to your shins. You have a nice flat back, a little bend in the knees. Exhale, fold. Slowly roll all the way up, reach up to the sky. You can add a back bend if it feels good. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. On your next inhale, root down, rise up, reach up to the sky. And exhale, fold all the way to the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Walk your feet back to high plank position. Pause here, take a breath. And then drop your left knee and turn your right foot. So you come into a side plank here. You can gently bring your right hand to your right hip. Maybe reach it above you. See where you're at. You can play with your gait here. Maybe you need to walk your foot a little further to help your balance. Or maybe you want to take a challenge and float that right leg. Squeeze the glute. Reach the right arm up and over your head. If that feels good, breathe and release down. High plank position. Take a breath. This time, drop the right knee, turn the left foot, and just bring the left hand to the left hip. Find your balance, find your gait and stability. Where do you need to go? And then maybe reach the left arm up. You can stay here or maybe float that left leg. Really squeeze the glute. Stretching the left arm up, above you, towards the top of your mat. Squeeze that left glute. Release. Tuck your toes, high plank position, and push back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and let it go. On your next inhale, look to your hands, walk your feet forward. Root down, rise up, reach up to the sky. And exhale, come into chair pose. In chair pose, in this version of chair, our feet are 6 inches apart. When you take a peek down, you should be able to see your toes, so you don't want your knees out like this. And you're thinking about your pelvic tilt, nice neutral spine here. Breathe, engage the root lock. And fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now in this forward fold, we're going to take our hands and we're going to slide them palm side up underneath our feet, all the way so that the toes meet the wrists. And we're going to put a little bit of gentle pressure. You can have as much of a bend in your knees as possible, as needed. And you're just going to gently shift some weight into those toes so you're targeting the wrist area and releasing some tension there. Gently release. Roll all the way up, mountain pose. Inhale, arms to the sky, and exhale, sink into your chair. From here, you can keep your arms up. You can also bring your hands to prayer. If you have anything going in the lower back, I suggest you bring your hands to prayer or to your hips, whatever's most comfortable. And then from here, we're going to shift our weight into our left foot and lift our right foot up. Working on balance. And then we're going to lower our right foot, shift the weight into the right foot, and lift the left foot up. Working on balance. Let's do it again. Right foot comes up. Release it down. Left foot comes up. Release it down. This time we're going to shift into the left foot, and you can do the same thing, just lift the right foot up, or maybe you start to extend that right leg back, coming into Warrior 3, a balancing pose. If Warrior 3 is not in your practice, you can always touch your toe down and work on it that way. Hold it here, squeeze the glute. We're seeing a theme here today, right? Good. And bring it back. We're moving slowly with control. It's Much harder to do this than it might appear at first. Root in through your right foot, lift the left foot up, and then maybe extend the left leg back. Keeping a micro bend at all times in that right leg. Squeeze the left glute. Press in through the right big toe to help you with balance. Release. Slowly roll up, mountain pose. Take a wide-legged stance here. The wider you go, the less you're going to stretch. We're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. Your feet can be parallel or slightly pigeon-toed. You don't want them winging out. Keeping your hands on your hips or your arms wide. Lead with your chest fold forward. Squeeze the front of your legs. And once you feel a good place to hold, you can use some blocks to help you stay there. Slowly come out of this. And then step back, mountain pose. Inhale, arms to the sky, sink down into a chair. And we're going to do something that's a little bit more playful here. So we're going to step our right foot back, and this time we're grounding down into like a crescent pose. But we're going to bring our arms down to the mat. Now you can use a block here, and just make sure your blocks are sturdy. And you're going to float that back leg, and then bring the knee into the chest, and release. Knee into the chest, and release. Knee into the chest, and release. Step your right foot in and switch sides. Left foot goes back. Float that left leg. Bring the knee into the chest, and send it back. Bring the knee in, and send it back. One more time. Bring the knee in, and send it back. Touch the left foot down. We're going to remove the blocks, and just keeping that right foot forward, heel toe the right leg over, and sink down into a pigeon pose. You could use a block underneath you, if that works. Come down to your forearms, release the neck. Stretch out that area that we did so much work on today. If pigeon isn't in your practice, you can always move into a reclined pigeon on your back, like this. Okay? So remember, there's a lot of options here. You can stay upright, or maybe even walk your arms all the way down, forehead to the mat. Wherever you're at, you just want to make sure your hips are staying in line. You don't want to be rolling over to one side just to bring your chest area deeper. Take another breath. And gently switch sides, bringing your left foot forward and sinking down. Noticing if you're tighter on this side or not, and just honoring wherever you're at. take a couple more breaths here. Just really relishing this pose. It's such a fantastic hip opener. Great for sciatica relief. It's one of the poses that I take a deep dive into in my hip workshop. But it can also be really intense, so just take it slow. One more breath. And slowly come out of this. Coming into a seated position. Extend your legs forward, keeping a slight bend in the knee. Bring your hands out for boat pose. And for boat pose, we want to think about that root lock. So if we forgot about it, we want to come back to that root lock where we're pulling the belly button in and we're pulling up on the pelvic floor so those areas meet. Reach your arms out and just start by lifting your heels, maybe lifting one foot and then the other. And wherever you're at, wherever you feel stable, maybe it's both feet up, maybe it's one foot, maybe it's just your toes, maybe your heels are on the mat. Wherever you're at, we're going to try to lower down very slowly with control. Pull in the root lock the whole time. Engage that root lock, slowly lower down. Hold it at your lowest point without touching the mat. Hold it, keep that root lock going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Pull both knees in. Hug them towards your chest. Take a gentle rock. And then let your knees fall to your right side. Into a gentle, easy, sweet twist. And back to center. Pull your knees in, and then let them fall to the left. Come back to center. Pull both knees in. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And exhale. Let your arms and legs fall to the mat. Take your final Savasana. Lower, close your eyes. Turn that awareness inward. And take one more scan of your body and your breath. Noticing how different you feel now after this morning's practice. Notice how much more relaxed you are. Notice those feel-good messages floating throughout every limb, every crevice of your body. Take as much time as you need in your final Savasana. Take time for you. Finding these quiet moments are so important to our body and our mind. So thank yourself for showing up today and doing something wonderful for your body and your mind. The light in me sees, honors, and loves the light in you. Thank you.